Hey folks, Patrick Cooper here with another 3 Songs Thursday series. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to start off with an original song. This is one of mine. It's in what's called the Talking Blues format. It's an old, tried and true folk music format. It's been used for over a century. And a lot of the old folkies, Woody Guthrie, Bob Dylan later on, Peter, Paul, and Mary have used it before. It's just a tried and true way to, usually the songs are somewhat humorous in the Talking Blues format, and this is my attempt at something humorous. And everything that I talk about in this song actually did happen while I was playing a gig at various places. One of the stars of this video is Steve Langer, who is a bartender at Carrie Irish Pub, where I play quite often in New Orleans, and you'll see what happened. John Craigie also makes an appearance with a gig that we did years ago together in Oregon. Anyway, the song is called Talkin' Barroom Troubadour Blues. Well, I'm a barroom troubadour, play for drinking folks, sure. I met a lot of nice people along the way, some of the other kind, I'm sorry to say. You know I'm not one to complain. Well, maybe sometimes. Three gals sitting at a back table, singing my heart out as much as I was able. I played 3 of the requests as they yelled from the back, and they were having a good time. I'm just giving you the facts. Nothing in the tip jar from them yet, but hope springs eternal. Then one of the gals comes up to the stage. She had another request. I said, okay. She looked at me through her bloodshot eyes of joy. Said, can you play that funky music, white boy? I said, no ma'am, I can't. I ain't no half-baked funk man. One slow night at the Carry-On Decatur, just bartender Steve, one drunk and the night gets later. Steve says, Patrick, when you're gone, I'm closing up early. Drunk says, well, Steve, if Matt Damon walked in, you wouldn't be so surly. Steve says, screw Matt Damon. But he didn't say screw. Steve and I were wondering where that random thought come from. Chances of Mr. Damon walking in were slim to none. The drunk said, I heard he's a really nice guy. I said, I guess so, but I don't see him here with my eyes. Steve says, let me repeat myself. Screw Matt Damon. And he didn't say screw. One night, Craigie and I are playing in an Oregon saloon. People come in from howling at the moon. A kid comes up in a way not so demure and say, hey, can you guys do any Tupac Shakur? We said, sure we can. We're a Tupac Shakur tribute band. Can't you tell? So next time you're listening to a player in a bar, buy a CD or play some money in the jar. We're working hard making memories from the heart. Remember, the bars are where most of us get our start. Oh, Steve says, screw Matt Damon. You know the rest. Talking Barroom Troubadour Blues. Everything in it is true. One thing interesting about that song is, since I can talk my way through it, I never do it the same way twice. Sometimes the phrases land in different spots, but That makes it interesting, at least to me. And Steve has heard the song many times. It's actually on my Bandcamp page with a short introduction of how the song came to be, and he gets a kick out of it. All right, so that's the story there. All right, this next song was written by a great Texas performer that sometimes maybe I think doesn't get remembered as much as he should. His name was Doug Sahm, S-A-H-M. He was born in San Antonio, grew up in Texas, ended up meeting a guy who would become a childhood friend and a mentor and also musical partner for years. Augie Myers was a keyboard player. So they started a band, and I love this part of the story. Their manager was a crazy Cajun guy, but who was living out in Texas. His name was Huey Moe, M-A-U-X. M-E-A-U-X, I should say. And so at this time when Doug's band with Augie, they were trying to get known and trying to get a record deal, the Beatles and the Stones, Herman's Hermits, and all these English bands were coming over, The Who, and making a lot of money and everything. And so Augie decided that he needed to somehow bill Doug Sahm's band as English, even though they were all from Texas. So they called, he said, we're going to call you the Sir Douglas Quintet. And he would dress them in kind of fluffy shirts and jackets, and they, ended up getting Beatle haircuts. So the idea was to try to make the kids think that this was an English band because that's what was selling at the time. But they were all from the San Antonio area of Texas. Anyway, but it actually worked. The song I'm going to play was their first hit. They had 2 or 3, and then Doug went on to play with many other iterations. He played with a great band called the Texas Tornadoes with his buddy Augie Myers and Freddie Fender as well. So unfortunately, he died fairly young. He didn't even make it to 60. He died in his late 50s. But anyway, an interesting performer. Some people call the music kind of Tex-Mex, Tejano, Conjunto, because they were definitely using that kind of style. Augie was of Latino heritage. But anyway, this song, when you hear the words, you're going to tell this is not going to go down as great poetry. The song is called She's About a Mover, and you'll see that it's not going to remind you of Dylan or people like that. Anyway, but it's just a fun song. She was walking down the street, looking fine as she could be. Hey, hey, she was walking down the street, looking fine as she could be. Hey, hey, featuring love and conversation. Hey, hey, what I say? She's about to move up. 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 Hey, 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 hey. She's about to move up. She's about to move up. Teaching love and conversation. Hey, hey, what I say? Hey, hey. Well, she strolled on up to me. Said, big boy, what's your name? Hey, hey. Well, she strolled on up to me. Said, hey, big boy, what's your name? Hey, hey. Being in love and conversation. Hey, hey, what I say? Hey, hey. She's about to move up. 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 Hey, hey. Hey, hey. She's about to move up. She's about to move up. Well, you know I love you, honey. Hey, hey, what I say? Hey, hey. about to move up. She's about to move up. She's about to move up. She's about to move up. So, as you notice, the words are not real complicated. Walking down the street looking fine as she could be, she strolled on up to me and said, "Hey, big boy, what's your name?" But it's still a lot of fun. She's About a Mover from the Sir Douglas Quintet, written by the great Texas performer Doug Song. Okay, last song fits in with the t-shirt reveal. You'll see it says Sun Studios. This was the legendary recording studio in Memphis, Tennessee, headed up by Sam Phillips, the great producer, and it went on to make rock and roll and blues history. He recorded people like Howlin' Wolf, Roy Orbison, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and of course Elvis Presley, which is what put Sam Phillips on the map reputation-wise. Although Howlin' Wolf, he said, was actually his favorite performer that he ever recorded. The great blues man. But anyway, if you get a chance to go to Memphis, you can actually do a little tour of the studio. It's still there, and it's kind of fun. I did it because I'm a music nerd. I also did the legendary Stax studio as well. But anyway, this song is by Carl Perkins, maybe one of the lesser known of the group of people who recorded at Sun Studios. But he was kind of one of the kings of rockabilly. One of my favorite songs of his called Honey Don't. Well, I come, you say you will when you won't. Say you do, baby, then you don't. Let me know, honey, how you feel. Honey, as I love real. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Say you will when you won't. Honey, don't. Well, I love you, baby, and you ought to know. I like the way that you wear your clothes. Everything about you is so doggone sweet. You got that sand all over your feet. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Say you will when you won't. Honey, don't. Saturday night, Sunday morning, you don't look right. Been out painting the town, honey, been slipping around. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Say you will when you won't. Honey, don't. Well, I love you, baby, and you ought to know. I like the way that you wear your clothes. Everything about you is so doggone sweet. You got that sand all over your feet. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Say you will when you won't. Honey, don't. You say you will when you won't. Honey, don't. Say you will when you won't. Honey, don't. At breakneck speed, some rockabilly from the great Carl Perkins, who recorded at the legendary Sun Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. Well, that's it for this episode of 3 Songs Thursday series. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Patrick Cooper. I will see you next week. Actually, in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye-bye.